Hello, and welcome to this edition of Education Matters. I'm Kim Root, and I'm here today with Dr. Paul Salah, Superintendent of Huron Valley Schools. Welcome.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, how are you? It's been a while since we've done one of these.
Yes, it has.
So tell us what's new in Huron Valley.
So that's a great question. I appreciate you asking that and lifting that for the listening audience. So it has been a while. I think the last time we did a video production was shortly after we got back from the holiday break. And quite a bit has happened. I mean, we're back in school, which is fantastic, and it's great to see kids in our halls and in our classrooms and actively engaged in learning 4 full days a week. You know, I know many districts still are struggling to get back, but we've been back since January 19th, and it has just felt great to be back in session. Also, I think what's really important to lift is in February, towards the end of February, our board took action to bring us back 5 days a week after the spring break holiday. So we're taking steps forward towards normalcy, you know, and it's just fantastic to see athletic events taking place and to see our band programs operating and to see concerts. And so there's just a lot to be excited about, and as we look forward, it's just really encouraging to see normal on the horizon.
It is, and we're also seeing some construction happening around the district, and that's in great part, obviously, to our taxpayers. So tell us a little bit about what we should anticipate going forward.
Yeah, so again, to our taxpayers, I cannot thank you enough as superintendent. You know, passing that bond in the sinking fund has surpassed my expectations in terms of what we are going to be able to do for not only students but the community as a whole. You know, oftentimes throughout the bond campaign, we talked a lot about, you know, this sort of investment in our community. It positively impacts housing values. It positively impacts the productivity and opportunities for our business owners. Because when you have healthy, vibrant schools, that leads to a healthy, vibrant community. And so again, to our taxpayers, thank you so much. We are so grateful for your support. And just walking into the studio here, we're at Lakeland High School. If you get a chance and you're driving by, take a look at the huge mounds of dirt that exist. That's going to be the new concession stand at Lakeland, and we're doing a tremendous amount of work over at Lakewood Elementary School, Oxbow, Highland, and Johnson. You know, just really encouraging to see the future of our buildings and how they will be reinvented.
That is great news. It's wonderful news. And I know that as the weather warms up, our minds turn to spring activities. And so we started to get questions about what about commencement? What about prom? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's an excellent question. You know, for our seniors out there, I'm talking to you guys right now. I just want you to know, we know how challenging this year has been for you. We feel that sense of urgency to recognize you and do everything in our power as a school district to really end this school year on a high note. I know I think of you often. I want you to have a great end of the school year. So, you know, we are as a district working with our building administration to come up with multiple contingency plans. Unfortunately, you know, the greatest unknown, the greatest challenge is we are at the behest of public health guidance, and we can only do what they allow us to do. But that being said, we have secured larger venues. Should we have restrictions that allow indoor activities, but perhaps you know the capacity is such that only 25% can be utilized, we've secured a venue that will allow us to have a reputable, credible, you know, really great quality graduation ceremony. And we continue to look at prom as well. We've secured a large venue for that as well. So stay tuned, everybody. Public health guidance will drive those decisions. But should we have the opportunity, we are going to move forward with as close to normal of a graduation and prom activities as we possibly can.
So I want to touch on that, just the close to normal piece. The school district's been very aggressive in identifying opportunities for staff members to get vaccinated. Where do you think we stand at this point with staff members getting vaccinated?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. You know, January 11th, I remember the date because I remember we were looking at the data very closely in order to make a determination with the support of Oakland County Health Department regarding whether or not it was safe to come back on January 19th.
Right.
And January 11th was the date that the governor announced that educational personnel were going to be moved up, if you will. And so from that date, we have sent out at least a dozen communications to district staff regarding vaccine possibilities and opportunities. And I'm really pleased to report that through those opportunities, you know, through a partnership with the Huron Valley Hospital and through the Oakland County Health Department, I believe everybody in the district that desires a vaccine will be vaccinated by the end of March, early April. And that means 2 doses, which is just remarkable. It's phenomenal because it allows us to, again, move towards normalcy. And we know that, you know, elderly folks tend to be impacted by COVID-19 more so than our younger population. So that creates another layer of confidence building in our staff. So it's really exciting.
It is very exciting. What else can you tell us about what to anticipate either, you know, this spring or for fall? We know that we've asked families to commit to an April 30th date to make, you know, some decisions about next year. And why do they have to do that? Why is that so important?
Yeah, you know, we've heard that question actually quite a few times. You know, Dr. Slaw, why are you making us pick right now? You know, April 30th is so far away from the beginning of the school year. And it's an absolute fair question. And what it comes down to is, as a school district, we have to be fully staffed. And enrollment and where that enrollment is occurring drives where our staffing will occur. And that means that, for example, if at Highland Elementary School we need 3 additional teachers because students are leaving the virtual academy and going to face-to-face, and let's say we don't have 3 additional teachers, then we have to post that position, and it takes weeks to go through the posting, the interview, and the hiring processes. So it's just really important that we have a solid idea of what our enrollment looks like so that we can staff appropriately, so that the board can adopt a budget and move us into the 21-22 school year. It takes an extraordinary amount of time to build master schedules at the high school level and to staff all of our buildings. So that's really the why behind it. We pushed that out as far as we could. We made some tweaks after getting some of those questions as well. You know, for example, you know, we're only going to require a semester commitment. You will have an opportunity to switch from face-to-face to virtual and from virtual to face-to-face, should that be your desire. We're also allowing wait lists to provide a little bit more flexibility, because if we do have enough of an interest at a certain grade level or subject area, then we would consider adding additional staff, you know, after that April 30th date. But if you want to secure a spot, I would encourage you to complete that form.
Great, thank you. So just in wrapping up, any parting thoughts, any other items you'd like to share for our families?
This has probably been the most emotionally challenging and stressful year that many of us have ever endured. And you know, I not only say that as an educator, I say that as a father, as a husband, as a person that has family that lives all around the world. It's been a challenge to say the least. But that being said, I want you to know that I'm probably right now more optimistic and hopeful for what the future holds certainly been over this last year, but maybe even in my entire life. Because, as a person, I've never lived through anything like this before. And I know how extraordinarily taxing it has been mentally, emotionally, physically for some folks. And I want you to know that you have a community. You have a family. Families don't agree on everything all the time, but we're here for each other. And I want you to know your school district is here for you as well. So I'm hopeful, Kim. I'm very optimistic about our future as a district, from the instructional programs that we've built to last, to the bond projects that we see happening all around us. Huron Valley has a very bright future. So
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for tuning in to this episode of Education Matters. We'll see you next time.